So just a few housekeeping things. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions at any time. You can have your camera on or off. As you saw, this class is being recorded. If you're on a desktop, the mute buttons and the stop video or start video are down in the bottom right corner. If you're on a iPad or an iPhone, you would just need to tap on the screen. You should see the mute and unmute and video on, video off buttons at the bottom. Feel free to put questions in the chat at any time if you don't feel comfortable speaking out loud. To access the chat, you can also just tap on your screen. And then if you're on a computer, you should see the chat button at the bottom. But if you're on like a phone or an iPad, you might need to click on more and then tap on chat to put a question in the chat. So today I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Thank you everyone for joining. Again, this is online resources to learn new skills. So today we're going to go over some resources from the library and then one or two others that are not from the library that will help you learn new skills. So these include LinkedIn Learning, Applied Digital Skills through Google, Creative Bug, the Great Courses, Morningstar, and Mingo. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by going to the Lake Forest Library. And this is our website, just www.lakeforestlibrary.org. And I'm just going to scroll down here to find all of our DIY and online learning courses. So these are on our website under Research and Learn. So I just hovered over Research and Learn, or if you're on an iPad, you can just tap on Research and Learn. And then this box appears. And then DIY and online learning is in the left-hand column at the bottom of the list. So I can just click on DIY and online learning. And this takes you to all of the resources that the library has for adult learners to continue their lifelong learning. So I'm going to scroll down here to the first resource I wanted to cover. Each one of these resource boxes has a link in it underneath the logo where you can go straight to that resource and log in. If it's your first time using any of them, there's also this green button that you can click on that'll take you to a page where you can see tutorials and get instructions on getting started with the app. So for example, with our first resource today, LinkedIn Learning, we've got a video here on Get Started with LinkedIn Learning. There's also a print steps for using this app, and then there's steps printed out here at the bottom. So I'm just going to walk you through this right now. So I'm going to click on this link right here, go to LinkedIn Learning. And this website, if you're interested in bookmarking it, I can get it in the chat. It's linkedin.com/learning-login/go/Lake Forest Library. Let me just go ahead and put that in the chat.
Hello, this is Maureen. I'm just wondering if everyone could mute because there's a lot of background noise.
Yes, if you're not asking a question and you might have any background noise, I would appreciate you muting at least while the background noise is happening.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is LinkedIn Learning. I've got that link in the chat if you're interested in just saving it in your browser. To get started, you just click on the Get Started button. So this app used to be called lynda.com, and it was bought out by LinkedIn, which I believe is owned by Microsoft. So your Lynda account, if you previously had one, is now your LinkedIn Learning account, and your account stuff, anything that you had saved in your playlist, would have been moved over into LinkedIn Learning. So the login is a little bit different. You log in with your library card number and your library card password. This is the same password that you use to log in to your library catalog. And if you don't know your password, I would try the last 4 digits of your phone number. And then if that doesn't work, call the reference desk and we can reset it for you. So this is the LinkedIn Learning homepage. There's some featured classes up here at the top. And then below that, you see that you can set a weekly goal for yourself to kind of help motivate yourself through your learning process. To the right of that, we've got some courses that I've started in other classes. And then if you scroll down through the news feed here, you can see some picks that LinkedIn Learning has thought that maybe I would be interested in watching. So LinkedIn Learning is probably one of the primary online learning resources at most public libraries. And it's at really a lot of libraries now. It does have a non-library subscription that you can pay for, or you can just get it through your local library. So what it does is it helps you train for a potential new career. So the courses here are pretty in-depth. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced for really a lot of stuff. So there's 3 different categories that appeared when I clicked on the browse icon at the top. And we've got business, which includes business analysis and strategy, leadership, management, finance, customer service, professional development, sales. So a lot of these classes, while they're not going to give you any college level credit, many of them do have some sort of partnerships with different professional organizations that the professional organizations accept as continuing learning credit. Again, not college credit, but they still can be pretty in-depth. For the creative category, we've got stuff like graphic design, photography, illustration, product and manufacturing, web design. And then down here at the bottom, we've got some suggested learning paths and software that you might be interested in. And then if we click on technology, again, we'll have another set of categories such as cloud computing, IT help desk, software development, mobile development, and much more. So I was wondering if someone has a copy or like an idea of a class or like a topic that they would be interested in me searching for. Feel free to unmute yourself or get it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just pick one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just click on, I'm actually gonna go back to LinkedIn Learning and I'm gonna do a search for Photoshop. So I'm gonna just click on Photoshop Elements and Learning Photoshop Elements 2018. Okay, so when you click on a course, the introduction automatically plays. Some components of what we see here on the screen. The first one is, I'm just gonna move this so that we can see it, is that up here in the top right, we can click on the bookmark to save this course to our stuff. We can also click on the plus to add it to our content. So in Libby, this would have been called a playlist. In LinkedIn Learning, it's called a collection. So when I click on the plus sign, it pulls up some collections I've already made. So I can just click on the add button if I wanted to add to the library's Media Lab equipment playlist that I made for myself. I can also click on create collection at the bottom to enter in title and a description, and then click on create if I wanted to create a new collection. Over here on the left is a list of videos. These videos are organized into sections. So I can click on each section to minimize the videos in that section if I wanted to see all the sections at once. So anytime you go through a section, you'll need to watch all of the videos, or you'll need to complete the chapter quiz. In order to receive the certificate at the end, you'll have to have watched all the videos and completed all the quizzes. You can jump around the videos simply by clicking on a video. That'll take you directly to that video, all in order if you don't want. Down at the bottom, there's 3 columns here. We've got, can everyone see and hear me? Just gotta. Okay, I'll keep going. So down here at the bottom, we have information about our instructor, our exercise files, and our certificates. Then we have some course details. Thank you. And below that, we have our learning objectives, the skills covered, and then some related courses. If this class had any professional organization accreditation towards continuing education credits, you would see it on this page at the bottom there. Next, we have Notebook. So while a video is playing, you can take notes by clicking on Notebook and then typing in whatever notes that you have. And then the third column is called Transcript. So the nice thing about Transcript is that you can actually click on a part of the transcript to jump to that part of the video. So if the instructor says something and you want to see the demonstration again, you can go to that part of the transcript and click on it, and then you can jump back to that part of the video, which in my opinion is easier than using the skip back and skip forward buttons here, which are the buttons that have the number 10 and then a circle around it, either backwards or forwards, which is similar to other things like YouTube. So these buttons might be familiar. There's also a previous button, which I believe will take you to the previous video. And then a forward button, which I'll do to the next video. You can increase or decrease the playback speed of the video. So if you want an instructor to speak either slower or faster, you can choose your speed. You can also turn on captions if you would like to. Then there's a settings menu as well, and a speaker volume menu. And then you can also go full screen, or you can pop the course out of the video in case you wanted to actually play around in Photoshop elements while you're watching the video. This allows you to do both. And that icon was on the video, kind of at the bottom here on the right side. So that's an overview of navigating around a course. Does anyone have any questions about LinkedIn Learning before I move on to the next resource?
Yes, it's Maureen. Do you have to be a member of LinkedIn to use LinkedIn Learning, or just a library member?
Nope, you do not need a LinkedIn login. You can log in with your Lake Forest library card and your password, and that does not require a login. I believe if you wanted to log in through your LinkedIn Learning and connect the two, I believe that you can, but it's completely optional.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Anyone else have a question? Okay, so the next resource I wanted to show you is Applied Digital Skills through Google. So I'm just going to do a Google search here up at the top of my screen, Applied Digital Skills Google. And I'll hit enter, and it's just the first one here. So I will note that in order to play any of the courses from Applied Digital Skills, you will need a Google login. This one is actually not, this I think is the only resource I'm going to show today that is actually not a library resource. So Applied Digital Skills through Google frequently shows how you can use Google tools to do different stuff. But it also has a lot of other really helpful courses. So when I scroll down at the Applied Digital Skills link, which let me go ahead and get that in the chat, 1 second. This took me to a section to choose what type of learner I am. So I can be a teacher, a student, a parent or guardian, or an adult learner. So for our purposes, I'm going to click on adult learner. And from here, now I can click on Start Now. I can scroll down to learn some testimonials, or I think these are some sample classes, and then kind of how this works. So I'm going to actually click on Browse Lessons, which is in the top left corner. And this is actually going to show me all of the lessons. There are some collections here that Google has already put together, but you don't have to keep yourself to that. So I'm going to click on Adult Learners over here on the left under the filter by on the left-hand side. And I can scroll through these lessons. They include Google Workspace, learning about Drive, Google Workspace, Docs 1 and 2. You can learn how to use Gmail. You can learn how to plan an event. You can brush up on your internet literacy skills through the Use Digital Tools for Everyday Tasks. You can learn how to use Google to write a paper on online research. And there's also many more, like negotiating your salary or creating a family newsletter, many more if you just browse through. So on this course, Write Using Online Research, I will need to log into my Google account to start the video. But on this homepage, I just want to point out that if you scroll down on it, you can see that it takes 5 to 10 hours to complete and includes the digital tools Docs and Search from Google, and then some strategies such as writing strategies and document formatting. Then if I scroll down further, I can see the different lessons that are included with this course. So Write Using Online Research, planning a paper, pre-write, draft and revise, publishing, and a course wrap-up. And then if I click on teaching materials, if I'm interested in doing this offline, I can, and I can download the lesson plan, I can download all the videos, and I can download the certificates of completion, and I can do this all offline. So if you don't have Wi-Fi at home, if you use the library's internet, you can download this at the library and then take your device home and then do it all offline. So I'll click on Start. So here is our first video. Unlike LinkedIn Learning, it doesn't automatically start. I can click on the word transcript, And just like LinkedIn Learning, the transcript is also clickable. So if I wanted to click on something that the instructor said, clicking on that would take me directly to that part of the video. If I click on next, it'll take me to the next video. And then I can keep scrolling until I get through this part of the course. Does anyone have any questions about applied digital skills? Okay, so the next resource I wanted to show you is Creative Bug. So I'm going to go back to that Research and Learn. And then under Research and Learn, under Research Databases, I'm going to scroll to the bottom of this left-hand column in the box. And I'll click DIY and Online Learning to get back to the Lake Forest Library page with all of our online learning courses. So again, I can click on this green button to go to get started with the Creative Bug app. And I can also click on the link. Sorry guys, one moment. I'm going to plug in my video. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. So I can also click on the Getting Started with Creative Bug page. And if I scroll down here, there isn't a video for this one, but there is still that print steps using the app and the steps written out on the library website page. So I'm going to click on Go to Creative Bug, and that URL is creativebug.com/lib/Lake Forest Library. Let me go ahead and get that also in the chat. So to get started, you'll just need to put in your library card. Got mine memorized because I take it so much. To log in. So Creative Bug is creative in nature. I'm glad you like it, Maureen. So this is where you can get classes on all sorts of hobby and artistic types of art. So if I hover over classes, we've got art and design, sewing, quilting, paper, knitting, crochet, food and home, jewelry, holiday, and kids. So if I click on kids, and if I'm interested in finding some classes to do with my child, just hover over kids, and then I can click on 5 years and up, or 8 years and up, or crafts. I think I'll click on crafts. So if I wanted to filter the results, I can click on this filter button, and then I can click on for beginners and apply. And I can also sort my results based off of newest or oldest or the most popular. So if I click on beginning watercolor, I can click on the play button to play the class. If I scroll down here, I can add these to my library. So I'm going to click add to library. Well, it didn't let me do that. Sorry about that. So I can click on play now. I can see the chapters. I can see the materials. And I can also see the gallery. So if I click on play now, the video is going to download. So we have a description, You see a little bit about the instructor and some learning objectives. I can click on chapters to see the chapters included in this part 1 course. I can click on materials to see what I'll need in order to follow along with the instructor. There's a gallery of pictures. There's a discussion. So if you wanted to add a comment, you can participate in the discussion of the course down here at the bottom. And then similar to LinkedIn Learning, you can add a note at any point. You can add it to your watch list. And you can see a transcript. Just like the other resources, this transcript is also clickable. So if I click on part of the transcript, it's going to go back to that part of the video. So there is like a 10-second rewind up here, but it might be easier to just click on the part of the transcript that you want to skip back to in order to, rewatch a part of the example that the instructor was showing that you wanted to see again. If I go back to Creative Bug, just the home page, on the home page, you'll see some classes that you might have started and some recommended classes. If you keep scrolling, you'll see some new classes and their most popular, some seasonal. So you can browse through here if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, or if you do, you can go to that section by clicking on quilting and then modern quilts, for example. Under daily practice, these are videos that they come out with daily to kind of help you continue your journey of learning about your chosen art by practicing daily. And then their resources, they have a calendar of upcoming events they're going to do live. They have a blog, they have a pattern library, they've got some class collections that they've put together for you, and much more. Does anyone have any questions about Creative Bug? Okay. So I'm going to jump back to our DIY and online learning. So the next class or the next apps I wanted to show you are how to access the great courses. And I've actually got my phone on the call with us. So I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to share on my phone. All right, so I'm on my phone now. And then I'm going to go into the Hoopla app. So the great courses are available both in the Hoopla app and then also in the Canopy app. So when you get started with Hoopla, you need to create a login and password with Hoopla. Looks like I need to remember my password. Okay, let me figure it out on my computer real quick. I'm actually just going to jump over to Canopy. Okay. So this is Canopy on the app. So I'm going to, at the bottom here, you see on the main screen, there's all sorts of suggestions for documentaries and movies that I can watch. A lot of the Criterion collection is in Canopy. There's short films, world films, and more, indie films that are in Canopy. You get 10 watches per month So in Canopy, anytime you just click on the play button to watch something, that's one of your watches. So you can browse. I'm actually gonna do a search for great courses. Should spell that right. I think I've got a list here. So for example, this is one of the great courses here. How to write best-selling fiction. So on here, you can watch the videos. So for example, this first video, on my phone, it takes up the entire screen. I'm gonna pause that. You can have the captions on or off, and then you can send it to another device if you would like. And then up here, you see there's 24 episodes in this course. It's got a 4-star rating. And then you can read more about the class and then see some details. So from here, let me see if I can get to a better list of all the great courses. I think I need to search for the great courses. Okay, so I'm going to switch from my phone here to the computer so that I've got better ability to search. All right, so now we're back on my computer. I'm going to log in again with my Lake Forest account. The way Canopy works, it's just like Hoopla, where you create an account with Canopy and then you verify it with your library card. And this actually took me directly to the great courses. So maybe that is what I was on. I just couldn't tell on my phone. So you see here, they've got some recently added courses. They've got history. So I accidentally clicked on the Great Tours of Washington, D.C. The one thing about these videos is I don't believe they have a transcript. So when I'm playing it, like I just have the video, I can't, jump back and forth like some of the other resources that I had. So I can see that this video is 38 minutes and that there's 24 episodes in this series. So each watch is going to count as a watch for the month. So just kind of note that when you're going through the great courses in Canopy, in that you can get through episode 1 through 10, but after you watch episode 10, you'll probably have to wait until the next month to watch more. So just something to kind of keep in mind with Canopy. All right. Go back to the Lake Forest Library for a moment. Someone have a question? Audible is not currently partnering with libraries to my knowledge. So I don't expect us to have Audible or Audible original content at any point. Yeah. Okay. Go back to the Lake Forest Library website. And then back under Research and Learn, we'll go to DIY and Online Learning. And then I'm going to click on Get Started with the Hoopla app. So we've got a tutorial here. We've got our print steps. Real quick, I'm just going to figure out my Hoopla password in a different window. So give me a second. Meanwhile, does anyone have any topics or anything that they would like me to search through the great courses, or any comments or questions so far?
Hi, Michelle. Can you search Greek mythology?
Greek mythology, okay.
Yes,
Will do.
please.
All right, so I'm gonna share this back on my phone again. And then I've got my password figured out. So I'm just gonna try to log in again real quick. All right, I'm gonna share my screen on my phone here now that I'm logged in. All right. So now I'm on the Hoopla app. I'm gonna allow notifications, the settings. Okay. Hopefully it'll load. Okay, so this is the Hoopla app. Just like Canopy, the way it works is that you make a account with Hoopla, and then you authenticate that account with your library card.
Okay.
So down here at the bottom, I'll just do my search. I'm gonna do the great courses and Greek mythology and see what comes up. Okay, I will say that I'm reading a book right now called Circe, and it's got a lot of Greek and
Yeah, I love Greek mythology.
so I just did a search here for Greek mythology. So you can see below the cover artwork, you see a little gray text that tells you what format it's in. Hoopla
Okay.
has ebooks, audiobooks, movies, TV shows, music, and graphic novels. So most of this is actually ebooks rather than any type of format.
Oh,
Click on this one, for example. So if I scroll down on here, I can see how long the book checks out for. I can read about what this book covers. So this covers the Greek creation myth, Hercules, demigods, heroes and monsters, gods and goddesses, and more. And then I can see who wrote it and who published it. So back up at the top, if I wanted to borrow this, you also get 10 borrows per month in Hoopla. So if I tap on borrow, it'll be available for 21 days. So it downloaded real quick and I can just tap on read. And it works, you know, pretty much the same as like Libby or Amazon. You can just kind of swipe to go through the book, or you can just tap on and then click on in the top right corner if you wanted to have a bookmark. You can click on the A to adjust the brightness. You can change the look of the book. And then you can also jump between chapters, your bookmarks, and any highlights that you've done. So The great courses though are videos. Maybe I'm spelling courses wrong, but I'm gonna try to get to the great courses. Okay, so here are some great courses. For example, I'm going to click on how about ancient Egypt?
Oh, okay.
So if I scroll down here, I can see a description, and then I can see that this one includes episodes. So just remember, you get 10 borrows per month. So there are, it appears to be more than 10 episodes. So just a heads up, some of these great courses, you might have to go back to each month and just watch a few at a time. So if I wanted to learn about the Great Pyramid of Giza, I can click on borrow and borrow. And then I can play it right here in the app. All right. So if I click on in the bottom of Hoopla, I can click on video, music, or ebooks, and then I can browse through their popular, featured, and recommended shelves. So that's Hoopla and the great courses. Are there any questions about that? I'm going to share my screen again. And then go back to the library webpage. So I have a couple more if people still have time and want to stick around. The next one I wanted to show you is kind of a different topic from what we were just looking at in investment. To load. Okay, so I'm going to go back to research and learn, but this time instead of going to DIY and online learning, I'm actually going to click on business, investing, and consumer, which is in the same column as DIY and online learning, but it's just one place up. So from here, I'm going to click on Morningstar. Now, since I'm remote, I'm going to click on the remote login and put in first 5 letters or first 5 numbers in my library card. So this is Morningstar Investment Research Center. And I'm going to jump over into planning and education, which is the option over here on the right of the 4 squares. So from here, I can click on Investing Classroom. So I can click on either videos, or if I have a specific type of security I'm interested in learning more about, I can click on that. They also have a retirement and financial planning course. So if I click on the financial planning course, I can learn about getting my taxes done, managing debt, fixing credit challenges. So I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to click on one of the other options. I'm going to go into stocks. So if I'm interested in learning, why stocks versus other investments, I can click on this course and say start now. So this is mostly written rather than a video or an ebook. So I just have to read through the lesson. And then at the end of each lesson, there's a quiz and there's little questions like this one. We're not at the end of the lesson, we're kind of in the middle of it, but we still have to quickly answer a question in order to move forward in the course. So I can click on all courses to go back to all courses in Morningstar. So if you're interested in learning on financial topics, or if you're interested in retirement, there are some great courses here that might be helpful to your goals. All right, so the next course I wanted to show you, the last one is actually on Mango. Okay, so back at the Lake Forest Library website, under Research and Learn, I'm going to click on DIY and online learning. And now I'm going to talk about how you can learn or get an introduction, at least, to a language through the library's Mango app. So this is an app, again, where you create an account with Mango, and then you want to find Mango free, and then you'll search for the Lake Forest Library and then put in your library card. So we have a video about how to do that here. I already have an account with Mango, so I'm just going to go to Mango and log in with that account. All right, I'm going to log in. Okay, so I'm going to click on try to get to the home page here. So if I'm interested in choosing a language, when you log into Mango, it takes you into the course that you were just in. So under the 3 lines at the top, I can click on profile, I can click on change language. So they have 72 languages here. Some of the popular languages include Spanish, English, French, etc. If you're interested in learning English as a second language, if you don't know the written language yet, you might need someone to help you kind of get to this part of it. But you're all here, so I assume you don't have a problem with reading English, of course. This is just in case you know someone. You can choose a language to learn English in. So if you ever hear someone that they want to learn English, so let me go ahead and pick another language here. I can just do my next lesson in Hindi here. Okay, so lesson 5 is conversational goals, express gratitude, greet people, and then they also have grammar goals such as learn conjugation and learn verbs in the present tense. So you can see if you hover over the sound icon, you can see the letters in the English alphabet. You can do a voice comparison, or you can replay the word. You click on the X button, and then click on tools here. There is also a translate available within Mango languages as well. And then up here you have an icon where you have notifications that you get from Mango. All right, so I'm gonna go back to learn here. Does anyone have any questions? You can view chapters by clicking on the chapter, and then you can see how many lessons are in that chapter. There's also a goals button that'll help you learn what the goals of each chapter of language learning are. So Mango is probably not going to get you fluent, but it's a good introduction to a language. Are there any questions? Is there anything I didn't cover that you would like to go over again, or any comments or questions that you have about any of the apps that I showed today. Thanks, Maureen. Okay, well, I will get this recording up on the library YouTube, and I'll send it to everybody who was registered so that you can watch it again, or if you are watching this in the webinar, you can watch it on the library's YouTube at a convenient time for you. Maggie, did you have a question?
No, I just want to say thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
I love to learn with no pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice that there's a lot of apps out there, especially that the Lake Forest Library is able to offer to kind of help you learn at your own pace with your own goals. So I just want to thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you at future events. I know we have a class next week on risk in investing. And then I know we have a whole host of programs planned for December. So definitely check your mailboxes. I believe probably maybe the week before Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving for that winter newsletter that'll have all of our January, February, and December classes. So thank you all for attending, and I hope to see you again at a future event. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay.